But one thing I want to talk about is the sort of larger connections that this struggle has. Wherever there's an environmental crisis, there's a cultural crisis because we're people of the earth. And what we're facing here is a larger context of resource colonialism. We also identify that there's a very unique type of colonialism that we call nuclear colonialism. And that's the exploitation and the destruction of indigenous lands to maintain the nuclear production process. So that's what we call nuclear colonialism. And that spreads and it's connected to the whole nuclear chain, the nuclear life cycle, which is really just a nuclear death cycle. So when you hear Obama, you hear other people talking about nuclear power being clean, green energy, nothing could be further from the truth. It begins with the death of indigenous people and it ends with the death of indigenous people. There are more than 70,000 metric tons of spent nuclear fuel that is currently sitting outside of nuclear reactors here in the US, and there's no place to put it, no permanent storage facility. The sites are still set on Yucca Mountain, which is a holy site for Western Shoshone people. Western Shoshone people, which I think you all came through, are also one of the most bombed nations on earth, with more than 1,000 nuclear bombs that have been dropped above and below ground.
I walked 2 times. The first time was 2012. We were walking from close to Tokyo to go up to the coastline where the tsunami hit and where the earthquake hit, and almost 20,000 people died because of the tragedy. And that time, it had been 2 years when I walked in Fukushima 2013.
Here she is with Carry It On, obviously marine undercurrents.
Got their got their own boundary point set in, and then they were waiting for another clearance on all the mine sites up in this valley. So I haven't heard anything from them, so I'm not sure when they're gonna get everything settled down and have the company or a contractor come out and start working with the US EPA. They will monitor them.
そう今いろんな調査をしているようなんですね、ここで、それが終わって、そして実際にコントラクターがここに来て作業を始めるのはいつになるのかは聞いてません。でもすることになるでしょう。How many of this kind of site in this nation?
Across the nation, it's over close to 1,000. 800, about 800, yes.
800. Okay. このような、放置されて何もされてないままのウラニウムの廃鉱。
There's small one that still were out there.
約800の廃鉱がリネの中にあります。
prospects, the one that
そ
are
の他にも小さいのはまだまだたくさんあります。
Washington, the Christian, Aje they don't have a Yagishi, Aje, the Lanzadan, then he caught, you know. Those 8 touching that was the name, Johnson of a dome card paid on the all station that can't go 8 or 3 paid on net. The canal station, no. But just digital art.
John Lepka, between big the Powiki, sort of Nazi.
I dig it.
Big the Powiki, no, but pizza. Now, the Hancock. Unless they don't know, not the don't need.
I am from the Bendoka Hay Band, which Chiricahua Apache. My mother and father are Western and Trisinosi. I want to thank you guys all for coming out and here with the walkers. I feel you guys. I've been a part of the fight for Mount Graham, which is a holy mountain, a holy area to the Apache people. That is where on my grandfather's side, my ancestry, that's where they come from. I've been a part of both sides since I was 11 years old.
Supai people are from the bottom of the Grand Canyon. My people used to live at the national park, but they've been moved because of the resources that they wanted, the water. We've been fighting the uranium industry for more than 35 years.
35年間ユラニウム企業と戦い続けてきています。
The Bureau of Indian Affairs coerced the tribal council into selling some of the lands that the U.S. Forest Service wanted, which was part of Red Butte. In doing that, they found out that they had uranium, high-grade and low-level uranium deposits. So they coerced the tribal council into selling them the land back to the U.S. Forest Service for 50 cents an acre. And the tribe only got at least $200 or $300 per capita for the families back in the 40s and 50s.
And at that time, when they started to do the fight, was about 50, 60 years ago. My grandfather was one of those people. Back then, we didn't have a lot of money. We didn't have legal representation. But we had Natakam, the creator of all things, to help us. And after 50 years of legal battles, millions of dollars, the United States had no other choice but to sign that water rights settlement. They wanted to pay us off, but we refused to take the money. So we told them that in order for us to exist as Akamir Oatam, as river people, that our water had to be returned. We had these struggles in our community, just like you have struggles. And Klee mentioned this earlier. This is colonialism at its best. Many of us call ourselves Native American. We are older than America. Don't call yourself Native American. That's not who we are. Don't even use that term. Correct those that call you that. I'm Dene. I'm Akamirdoatam. I'm wherever I'm from. This is the concept. The colonialism begins in your mind. And we have, as Native people, become too colonized. We struggle with that. Believe me, it's tough. We're in this system today. And it's a very difficult thing to pull out of. You, all of you, know that. We have been on walks. We've been on the longest walk together. We've walked and we struggled. Our feet blistered up. We were thirsty.
When our dreams climbed as high as any eagle dared to fly, old melodies and memories keep running through my mind. Cattle Country, 94.3 FM.
The company was called Rare Metals. Yeah, that's the company. So everybody just called it Rare Metals. That's what they call it. They crush the rocks and then they process and then make the yellow cake and then dump waste tailings. I've known these friends of mine, Jun-san and some other monks and nuns from 1978, and they really inspired me. Even though I had my elders, my culture, my land, but I just felt, they were undertaking a lot of things, a lot of commitment, and they try to fulfill it. And so it's amazing when somebody is committed to something and want to achieve even walking. Walking is a great endeavor, very physical, demanding thing, and especially when it's a prayer walk, when you're praying every step for people that have suffered in Fukushima, every step for individuals and people that suffered in Cameron, Tuba City, wherever your reading was mine, and Havasupai, all the waters, the springs, every step that is being made for all these things. So, this is what this walk is about. And that's why I call it a great endeavor and very physical and spiritually, mentally demanding effort. So I just want to explain what a walk really is. Sometimes it's simple just to go to the voting booth and cast a ballot. I mean, I've never done that, but so I to walk, and I think that's the best way to bring about healing to communities, to our societies and globally, and I think that's the best way to kind of initiate some kind of peace. People talk about peace, people talk about love, and but when it comes down to walking 2 miles in 1 hour and feeling your feet, walking the next 2 miles and feeling your blisters, that's when you're really understanding, this fulfillment and this commitment.
Your struggles as you walk, it takes a lot of effort to put forth physical exertion to go from place to place, and continue your prayers for us that we continue to live here. You probably came from far ways. You probably came from a good place, a place of harmony and equality. But here, we are harassed about our land that we live on, our ancestral home places that we're told to vacate. and this is our land. We don't know of any other way, any other lifestyles outside from where we are. And hope you support us in some shape or form, even with just a simple prayer that you pray for us. And we'll continue to hang on to this land. And we'll see what the future brings for us. To our loneliness, sometimes just the two of us sit here by ourselves with nothing else to do. And we pray for your well-being.